Welcome back to Scrubmas Day 16. If you don't know what Scrubmas is and you haven't been following along, Scrubmas is where I post a new scrub on my channel every single day in the month of December leading up until Christmas. So let's see what scrub we have in the stocking today. Ta-da! This is it's actually a strawberry, it's a whipped strawberry cream body scrub, but after I made it, I realized it looks more like watermelon than it does strawberry because strawberries don't have black seeds. But either way, it's still a gorgeous, fluffy scrub and it smells so good. I absolutely love this scrub. I do think I like the Funfetti one more just because I love the sprinkles in it, but I think you guys will like this one a lot too. Let's go ahead and get into it. First, you want to start out with a heat-safe container, and I'm going to add in cocamidopropyl betaine. Next, I'm going to add in glycerin, and then you want to make sure you have a respirator on when you're working with sodium cocoyl isothianate, also known as SCI, and then we're going to add in the SCI powder. You just want to mix everything together as best as you can. The SCI powder will be kind of hard to mix in until we heat everything up, but just go ahead and mix everything the best you can. Then we're going to grab a separate container, and in this phase, we are going to add in the distilled water. Now moving on to phase C, we're going to add the phase C ingredients in the mixing bowl, because this is where we're going to be adding everything in the end. But for now, we're just going to add some stearic acid into this bowl, and then we're going to go over to the water bath. You guys hear me talk about a water bath all the time on this channel. Just a pan, fill it with some water, put it on medium heat, place all of our containers in there, and we want to heat everything up. We want to get that SCI powder mixed in as best as you can, so come back periodically, mix it up until you get everything as creamy as possible. But once you have the stearic acid completely melted, go ahead and pull off the phase B, which is the distilled water. Add back in any water that evaporates, because anytime you heat it, water evaporates, so make sure you weigh it first before you heat it up so you can account for any water loss. And then pour that distilled water into your SCI and cocamidopropyl betaine and glycerin, because this again will help get that SCI powder mixed all the way up. The reason I like to heat it separate first is so it's not creating too much foam and lather in there with the SCI powder, and it kind of gets a chance for it to heat up enough. Honestly, I could probably just pour it directly in there. I don't know. Anyways, let's move on. Now that we have everything nice and smooth, we can pour the phase A and B into phase C and mix it up until it's well combined. Now we can remove it from heat and go ahead and whip it up with our hand mixer. And it should instantly start whipping up and like thickening up, at least mine did. But if you need to give it a minute to cool down, you can let it cool for a couple minutes and then whip it up. But here is the consistency I got. It's really fluffy and it's actually pretty jiggly too. So that's kind of how yours should look here. Then I let mine cool to around 100 degrees Fahrenheit. And right now I'm going to work on the phase D ingredients. I'm using this whipped strawberry cream fragrance oil, and I'm adding in this Baku red mica powder. I will link down below to everything I'm using, including the fragrance oil and mica powder, so don't you worry. And mix everything together. You do want to make sure you use quite a bit of red mica powder because they tend to look pink, but also keep in mind that the red will develop in time. Like my body scrub, every day I look at it, it looks more red, and I don't know why. That's just like how red mica powders are. Once it's around 100 degrees Fahrenheit, you will see that it's hardened up a bit more. Mine's like around 105 and it's hardened a bit. So now we can safely add in the cool down ingredients. I'm going to add in the whipped strawberry cream fragrance oil, and I will just whip it all up with my hand mixer again. And then you also want to make sure you add in a preservative at this time. I use Liquidermal Plus, but use whatever water-soluble broad spectrum preservative you have on hand. And then you just want to let it cool until the next day. At least that's what I did. You don't have to wait till the next day, but that's what I did. And yeah, it should be hardened up again. This is basically a foaming bath whip or like a whipped soap base essentially here. And then we're going to go ahead and add in our sugar. So you can also go out and just buy a foaming bath base or like a whipped soap and then add sugar to it, but I like to make my own. But I do want to experiment with a base, and you might see that video soon. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. I went ahead and used caster sugar in this time because I wanted to use a nice coarse like thicker sugar. Should I even describe sugar as thick? I don't think so. But white granulated sugar isn't quite as coarse as this castor sugar that I had, so I decided to use that. And honestly, I kind of regret it. I wish I would have just used white granulated sugar, because this sugar kind of added like a little bit of a gross color to it in my opinion, but whatever. We're just going to move on. And yeah, that is how she should look at this time. This is optional, but you can grab like poppy seeds, or I don't even remember what all these are. Red raspberry seeds and then cranberry seeds, I think. I didn't know which one to use because I was trying to make it look like a strawberry, but strawberries don't have black seeds. But then the seeds that looked like strawberry seeds didn't show up in the scrub and it didn't look good. So then I added poppy seeds and then I added the cranberry seeds. And in the end, I don't know. I don't really think I got like the seed look that I was hoping for, but it's okay. Hopefully this like gives you some inspiration though. And yeah, that is basically it for the scrub. It's optional if you want to pipe it into your jars. Piping is a lot of work, so I don't blame you if you don't want to do that. You could just use an ice cream scooper and scoop this into your jars too, but I'm just showing you guys that this scrub is like pipeable. It is fluffy, it is whipped, and if you're looking for like a whipped scrub, I think you guys will like this. So the formula is down below. All the ingredients and equipment is linked down below, and I will see you guys tomorrow for another Scrubmas formula. Also, don't forget to go over and check out my Patreon, where I post 2 exclusive videos every single month. So there is a ton of videos you can go over there and binge watch. For only $5 a month, you get access to the entire backlog. And for $10 a month, you can get a shout out for your small business. So let's shout everybody out. Nature's Farm Girl, Let's Blend LLC.com, Stardust Bath and Body over on Instagram, hempygirl.com, shoplevis.com, Owl and Lily over on Etsy, embracebeautyessentials.com, Legendary Bath and Body, Astari Apothecary, Revega Cosmetics here on YouTube, exorebb.com, Pardo Naturals, Natural State Skin, thenatureinus.ca, nearcatelier.com. You can use the code on the screen for 20% off, earthandambernaturals.com, Shark City Naturals, and daytorelaxproducts.com. And the rest of these companies are launching soon. skinbydevu.com, Seventh House and Oak over on Etsy, at Black Petal Beauty on Instagram, mycrownandglowery.com. Thank you guys so much for your support. Literally, without you guys on the Patreon, I wouldn't be able to continue doing what I do. So thank you so much.